All right, we're going to try this one more time and see how it works, Josie. I don't know what's going on.
Fingers crossed. I don't know. It keeps kicking me off.
Yeah, we'll have to delete all the other posts that are already recorded, those little 3-minute recordings. We'll have to kick all those out so nobody tries to listen to them. You want to go over your numbers real quick?
Hold on 1 second. Let me bring them back up. Give me a moment. I was trying to troubleshoot, and then I put them away.
That's all right.
Okay. If it loads. Okay, AUM is at 387.6 million. That Elephant MCAP is at 234.6 million. Treasury is at 45.9 million. Our trunk supply is at 108.8 million, and we are staked at 45.61 million.
Awesome. Good stuff there. Welcome to our March 20th, 2024 Spaces, recorded for playback. Pop it on our YouTube if you want to listen to it again or for the first time. Thank you to everybody that is here, whether it is your first time or you've come here every single time and you were talking about the trunk supply. I'm going to talk about the trunk burned. That is an important number as well. 2.266 million, which is burned. 266 more trunk in the past week. Over 35,000 a day is getting burned. Our trumpet number went last week from 2.657. Now it's at 2.670, slowly creeping up there, which is what trumpet is supposed to do. So futures, well, that thing's been just running like a steam engine. The bot is just on fire in the main Telegram. I can walk away from Telegram for like 10 minutes, come back, and I'll see a bunch of posts, and I'm like, whoa, who's all been posting here? And just find out it was the bot. That's because everybody's been redepositing. So that's been pretty awesome to see. And speaking of Trumpet, we have 4,476 people that are part of Trumpet right now, which is very, very smart move. 32 futures people, 169 people in that side thing, the Pepe stake. We've got like 22,000 EM holders, all about the each one teach one, growing every single one of those numbers out there because there's so much for people to choose from in all of the ecosystem based on what they can handle, what they like, and what they're just wanting to get into, which is why BT was saying last week to understand the cycles we're in and where is the hot spot to be. Because, and it's not always about the NFTs at all times. Depends how the markets are moving. Maybe it's more about DCA and how much trunk you have before we move over to Solana. Maybe it's DCA and growing your EM bag out there. So always know and understand the cycles we are in, because we get a ton of people from Solana that are in the herd already, but we are going to get that word out really soon, and you are going to see something really, really big happen once we start that up. Every day we give you some wisdom into, what's going on, or not just in our ecosystem, but just outside the ecosystem too. You've seen our content creators doing it. BT is always talking about some other side plays that you might be able to make to help your bag out a little bit and hopefully bring it back to EM. There were multiple opportunities to make multiple X's just in the past few months alone right here in the ecosystem. So I hope you guys take it all in and it leads you guys to more educated decisions on the path you guys take. Thank you to all our content creators out there for all the videos, to the articles that you guys have been putting out and just creating. It helps out every single time you post something. No matter how big the article is, no matter how short the video is, it always helps. Everyone who retweets and reposts, I want to thank you guys too, because you are helping out spreading the word with the Each One Teach One just by reposting and retweeting, and everybody who puts Elephant Money in their username, whether it's on Telegram or any of your social media accounts. That is doing the most free marketing you can do, and we appreciate it. Thank you for marketing your bag and for marketing the herd. And lastly, before we open up the floor, how important is your money to you? I always say that because you should always check back daily at your funds. And then, of course, in our Telegram for any new information that we're going to be giving you regarding our contracts. Maybe we have some new functions or things that may need you to make different adjustments to the steps that you're going to take when you're interacting and improving the ecosystem. And it might not be an EM thing. Like you learn checking back daily, all sorts of stuff that might not be EM. Like Trust Wallet had some issues going on where some people were bouncing around and they couldn't get their wallet to be opened up when they went to the site. It wouldn't detect your wallet. but that was a trust wallet thing. But you found out when you came in the Elephant Money Telegram what was going on, and people responded and people helped out and people told you what to do. So it's not always about Elephant, but it is always about checking back daily, because that's how important your money is to you. You never know what's going on, and you don't know if maybe a week ago you just hit that wrong button and you never knew it. And just because you hit a button doesn't mean within a split second that your money's going to be gone. It might not. You could hit a wrong button and it might take a week, and then all of a sudden it could be gone. So that's why you should always just check back daily, just at least on your funds and hopefully into the Telegram as well. And, fix your settings on your social media. There's been a lot of scammers in the past week that have been DMing people. And we see that a lot in the Telegram. I see a lot of people asking new questions, because I could tell they are new users and new members of the herd. And like within 5 minutes, they're posting again saying, hey, who are all these people contacting me in my direct messages? And that is happening whenever we have new people in the ecosystem. So you have to help protect them as well by letting them know, hey, don't let those people scam you. Change your settings, blah, blah, blah. The same routine we got to tell people all the time, and it has to be a constant thing, because it's just going to keep coming and coming the bigger Elephant Money has been getting. So that is about all I wanted to say. If anybody wants to be the first one to jump in, just request to speak, and we can open the floor up. I know BT was on Telegram, but I'm not sure he's in here yet exactly, or if he's going to be able to come on. So if you guys want to chat about anything, feel free. I do not have any alpha I can give you. I've been pretty laying low as far as being in the chat and doing some work on the side. So I don't have any good alpha. I just heard what BT posted the other day. He had like a 20-minute or 12-minute voice message that he left us, pretty much getting us ready for what's going to happen here on Solana. And I don't have any more details on that yet, but if I hear anything, I'll let you know if I'm allowed to. Otherwise, we'll just let BT give you some stuff. Rugs to Riches, I know they are doing their thing on Monday, and they had a little talk about it. I did not listen to the replay of the show, but if you guys jump on YouTube and just search from Rugs to Riches, you can find their page, and you can listen to their Monday live show that they do. And they talk about other stuff, not just EM, so you get a good aspect of everything going on out there, but they do plug a lot of Elephant Money, and they do a really good job at trying to get more people into the ecosystem. Let's see, is anybody asking to speak? No, not yet. All right. Let me look around some of the names here and see if I can pick somebody right now to win the NFT. Let's see, let's go through the names here. Somebody jumped on first last time, and where are they at? Blackberry guy, what's up, man? If you want to chat a minute while I'm looking for an NFT winner, feel free to jump on.
Okay, just a couple things. Real quickly, I've actually been away for a few days because of meetings and such, but I just wanted to share something that I think is important. I had a conversation with Chris Farrell. I've been having a conversation with Chris Farrell, and he runs an operation called DeFi Profits Made Simple. He's told me that he believes that in his production, with the product that he has, that he thinks that he has brought in about 400 people to Elephant Money Futures. 400 people. And if you ever go to his website, or you ever go to his pages especially on Elephant Money Futures, because he really emphasizes that, he's got just a host of stuff to teach people who aren't really huge crypto tech type people about the basics of getting into Elephant Money and Elephant Money Futures. And I was just astounded that he had brought that many people in, because he can see it on his list of clients that he has that are big into this. And I just thought, if people are thinking about, a lot of times they say, well, you ought to go visit the Elephant Money website and all that, or catch things on YouTube or whatever. But boy, Chris Farrell has really done a job of getting people on board, putting out product regarding elephant money. And I'm still in conversation with him more about what can be done to help direct people there. But sometimes maybe just an indirect move to somebody like him can help the masses. You know, it's not the tech people, it's not the people who know all about crypto technology. And he wants to get the person, not the elite, but the people on the street. So he's really tried to do a good job of simplifying things. And I'm, like I say, he's a very good communicator, but he's also showing that he has been very fruitful in his communication. So I would just encourage people to think about looking at DeFi. I'm not trying to promote his product so much, but as much as I am the fact that he is stressing with people EM futures, which is what this is all about. He's done a great job, and it's just something to look into, and it may be something to try. If people are wondering, well, how in the world does this all work? Go see Chris. He's done a great job with this.
Yeah, he has done it. He's doing a lot of videos. He loves futures. He really does love futures. And, you know, we encourage you to go talk to all our content creators because everybody says things in a different way. You know, remember EMH would put out those really math kind of videos, and then you have somebody that explains it a little differently. It's just all based on what you like to soak in a lot easier, and he does a great job doing it. And I encourage anybody to go to any of the social content creators pages and learn any way you can. As long as you're learning, that is the most important part. And they're teaching you the right way as well too. Thanks, man. I'm gonna give the NFT.
So that's all I had.
What's that? Oh, that's all right, man. I appreciate you jumping on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give away the NFT, and then Bank Teller's here. I'm gonna let him take over. So the winner is, where are you at? Real Crypto Benny. If you can show me that you heard that, right? Hit a little emoji, whatever it is, Real Crypto Benny, and then you can send me your wallet address, and we will get you your NFT. I'll give you like 30 seconds to hit some kind of little icon down there. If you don't, then I'll move on to the next person. There you go. All right, man. Just contact me on Telegram or on here, and we'll get your wallet address, and I'll put it on my Google Sheets. I'm learning how to use this kind of stuff, so I can get all the info. Last week's winner, we have not given out the NFT yet, but I'll get you. Don't worry. All right, BT, I know you're here, and you probably want to jump on. So if you want to take over, that's up to you. And there you
Be
go.
on in 1 quick second.
All right, that's cool. And I hope you guys are having a good week. Everybody out there. Hope nobody had too much craziness on St. Patty's Day. And I know here we have a small St. Patty's Day here. It's not as big as like New York or Savannah, Georgia, but it was pretty cool. And, you know, just an excuse to go out and wear green and have fun and eat corned beef and cabbage. But back to the real world again, to the next holiday, which is like Easter, I think 2 Sundays from now. Let's see. Appreciate everybody that tunes in each week. I know for everybody listening later on that you're not going to listen live. Thank you for tuning in here. I know X Spaces is not the most, hasn't worked perfectly, but at least we get it done. We get something out there, and hopefully it helps bring some new people in as well. BT's going to come on in a second. And let's see who else is on here right now. Shout out to Godspeed. Shout out to the Dark Knight. Pops in here quite often. Actually see a lot of names that I don't recognize that I usually notice everybody in here. I'm seeing names either you guys keep changing your names or you guys are actually brand new, which is really cool. And if you are really cool and you are brand new, then you're good. Yeah, each week, 11 o'clock New York time on Wednesday is when we try to do these. Spaces has been having some technical issues, but we're going to stick around with it for a little bit longer. And then each week, we try to give out an NFT as well.
So, hello guys. How's everybody going? How's it going, Ed?
Going good, man.
Good. Yeah. So it's like Ed was saying, crypto is a very active sport. Like you cannot, I don't think you can in this market, in this just general macro and financial environment. You can't sleep on your investments. You gotta be present and active. It's blood sport out there, and it's been quite a few bloody days across the board, right? But if you're in futures, how are you doing? If you're in futures, how are you doing? You're doing great. Rain or shine. Rain or shine. I bet there's plenty of people that had like significant gains and you watched them kind of disappear in the past couple of days. In plays, that we're working, right? So, I told you guys about Sol. I told you guys about WIF for a while now. And we watched over the weekend. What did we see? We saw them go to like all-time highs, at least with Solana, all-time high, 200. What do you do when it hits like local tops? You got to take profit. And you got to get that profit to cash. And there's a couple ways to do that. On the Solana ecosystems, there's a couple ways to do that. And then if you want to bring that money home and get the best yield in DeFi, then get that BNB to futures, and you can lock in some of those gains. I watched Solana go up to 200, and then I watched it drop all the way to 165. And I'll be honest with you, with the tools that I'm using over there on Solana right now, I thought I had a strategy that has been working phenomenally with lending products and things like that. And I still learned, and you don't want to be learning in real time when things are going bloody. You want to be learning in real time when things are going great. And so even if you were to ask me, so what are some of the nuances of, say, using Solend versus Venus? We talk a lot about Venus. Venus, you can use a folding strategy to manually compound multiple times collateral there. So you can deposit BNB, borrow USDC, sell that USDC for BNB, fold it back into supply for BNB on Venus a couple of times, right? And then you can manually drive your savings and get in and have like 2 to a little under 3x exposure on Venus. You can do the same thing on Solend, right? But some of the strategies that you can use on Solend, what's different is you can borrow, like say USDC. That's the main strategy, is to borrow USDC, so that whatever you're borrowing, that has some interest rate, but the principal, short of the interest rate, is fixed. It has no volatility. So when the market goes up, the amount of money you have to pay back isn't going up. When the market's going down, the amount of money you have to pay back doesn't go down. It's just constant. But something like on Venus, if you're borrowing USDC, it won't allow, if you have any positive borrow position for any collateral, including USDC, you can't supply USDC at the same time. But strategically, what you would want to do is, if you wanted to make your borrow position more resilient to dumps, you want to have more exposure on the supply side to stablecoin, to USDC. So one of the strategies that, and so you can't do that. And I think similarly, I don't think you can do that on Aave either. But on Solend in particular, you can. So you can have USDC or any other stablecoin, but mainly it's USDC on Solana. That's the one they support. You can have that on the supply side, and so you have a mix of, say like you could have 60% Solana, 40% cash on the supply side, and then you're borrowing USDC, and obviously you've spent that USDC to go into other plays or to fold back into Solana. And what you can do on the weekend when Solana was like up to 200, you could have withdrew some Solana on the supply side, sold it off for USDC at the high, and then slammed that USDC back into the supply side in your Solana account, locking in those gains. So that's how you actually can take profit without doing any type of borrow action on that side, but just you can reconfigure in real time your supply side, and when things are getting frothy, absolutely take profit and then just slam it back in. So you've locked in those gains at that price point, and that's still supporting your overall position and how much your loan to value ratio is. So this might sound foreign to a lot of people. It's like, what does this have to do with futures or elephant money? Well, these are the types of tools that you'll be playing with because we're going to Solana. And more importantly, I'm talking about Solend because the collateral that we have on the elephant money ecosystem, for the very first time, we'll be able to control our own destiny, be able to participate in true DeFi, unrestricted, with the best of the best tools. So on the in Solend in particular, they have permissionless pools. They have integration with Switchboard, which is permissionless oracles. Trunk, I'm happy to announce, you heard it here first. Trunk's already on Solana. Trunk was successfully bridged over to Solana via wormhole, and I'm currently working on deciding what the best liquidity pool will be. Probably going to be between Orca and Radium. I've used Radium. There's also a chance it could be on Meteora, but probably between those three, we'll have concentrated liquidity. So it'll be almost like Uniswap V3 style liquidity for Trunk. So I think Elephant Money Trunk, or Trunk's actual official name is, if you don't remember, or if you haven't looked at the contract or see what it's reported, its official name is Elephant Money Stable. And I think that's pretty memeable considering the price of Trunk right now. But there's only a little bit over 100 million supply of Trunk. And we're going to fully integrate it. So, when people release all these meme coins and stuff, they're using builders and different tools. They don't really know what they're doing. It's just a bunch of marketing, which is great, but it's a bunch of hype and a bunch of kids marketing stuff to each other and dumping on each other. I can dive down and actually, get these things integrated properly, as long as the platforms are open. So I've been using Solend for quite a while, and I'm probably gonna set up a pool so that we have Solana, USDC, Trunk, and potentially even a version of Elephant. When I say a version of Elephant, it will be Elephant. It will be Elephant. So until I give you the go and I give you the actual contract address, it's fake, right? There's only one person in the world that can bring Elephant anywhere except where it is right now, and that's me. So might as well let the cat out of the bag. Wrapped Elephant is coming as well. I don't know quite what Wrapped Elephant's going to look like, but it's coming. Okay, so Wrapped Elephant is coming, and when Wrapped Elephant comes, it's going to change everything. So we need to be careful about when we do it. I would suggest buy your Elephant. Being able to use Elephant and Trunk on Solana for collateral is absolutely going to happen. It's going to absolutely happen. And it's all going to be tied back to the mothership, back to BNB, back to our locked liquidity. That's all going to happen. But obviously, we're going to grow community-owned liquidity in the Solana ecosystem. We're going to use Solana-powered or borrow and lending and make Trunk and Elephant some of the most desirable collateral on the planet long term. Long term, that's what's going to happen. If people just keep using futures, that's the beast. Let me let you know another thing. I had to, first up on the Solana side, just in the process of like massaging my own personal things that I have going on Sol End. I had to use my development RPC endpoint. If you're just a regular user, Joe Schmo user, you couldn't get in. You couldn't use your you couldn't use the UI to do what you need to do to rebalance your portfolio and your or anything. You couldn't do trade very well if you were on Solana. You were pretty much out of luck unless you knew how to update your RPC endpoint. They don't allow you through the UI to update your priority feed, right? And if you're using Phantom or something like that, you can't update your priority feed. There's not a way to override that at the just at the wallet level, like there is for MetaMask. So people were out of luck if they were using dApps where you can't set the priority fee at the dApp level. And so I was able to do that, but just for people who are rushing to get on Solana, there are still major issues. Like I can't remember. BNB chain doesn't get congested like that. With BNB chain, it's a lot more responsive experience. Even at the height of usage, I never felt like BNB just got bogged down like that. I was always able to get transactions through. So just you have to plan ahead. When these you have to be prepared for like these dumps in advance. And one great way to do that is to be constantly taking profit and bridging that over, getting it into futures, locking in those gains, right? Get your funds into stable coin, get it over to BNB, and convert it back to BNB and get it into futures, and then you're earning solid yield on that. I've been growing my futures account this whole time, and also getting ready for some of the plays that we're gonna get going on Solana. So I'll make an official announcement, but in the UI, you'll see the official wormhole version of Trunk. I bridged a little bit of Trunk over just for testing. And one thing I will say is just wait for me to release the official URLs and links and instructions for how to properly bridge over. I will say that we're using Wormhole, and that is a permissionless bridge, and so all that work's been done. You want to be, when you do bridge Trunk, you want to be doing it in bulk. You want to be doing large amounts of that, ready to use your Trunk in the ecosystem once I have a few more things set up. Because if you just do like 100 here, 100 there, the bridging process at the redeem stage, which is the last stage of bridging, is very clunky. It's several transactions, and it's very slow given the congestion on Solana. So you're basically sitting at a page, you press a redeem button, you get an initial confirmation screen on Phantom, you press that, then you have to, don't be impatient. If you're impatient, you're going to mess it all up. You have to literally just sit there. You might wait a minute, you might wait 2 minutes, and then you get another pop-up screen. Hit that, then another, and another. I lost track of how many, but it's like 5, 6 confirmation screens with no description of what's actually going on. You can look in your transaction history and maybe try to figure it out, but it's all just a bunch of on-chain things happening with bridge validators and things like that. And it's stuff that they could have obviously rolled up on-chain, but they haven't. They haven't done that work. So it's the user experience is very clunky, very, very poor. They basically have, they built a portal bridge is just an application sitting on top of the Wormhole messaging infrastructure. So, technically the token bridge is an application that sits on top of Wormhole. And I think there's lots of opportunity there for, at least for the redemption step, to even, use like a proxy abstraction so that they can roll up those transactions and get those done on chain. But Solana works a little differently. And maybe but the Portal Bridge guys, they've been working on this stuff for a while, and they just don't. And anyone coming from Ethereum, sometimes they're just not focused on the user experience, and we're kind of suffering. But Wormhole is the sort of primary preferred way to bridge tokens to Solana, and because of that, Wormhole is getting more prominence as just a bridging technology. Period. Though it's fairly robust, but clunky from a user experience standpoint, bridging. So you want to bridge in bulk. And what's the general zoom out on all of this is BNB is not going anywhere. BNB is solid. You have to call someplace home. Hey, I'm happy with us, because all we need is for core BNB to keep growing, keep holding its value. We're going to be integrating Bitcoin as well into futures. So 10% of futures deposits will be buying Bitcoin. Another additional 10% of deposits will be going to emergency liquidation fund, which will be a separate treasury contract holding BNB as well. And that contract will go up and down, but based on deposit volume, there'll always be some a mechanism for people to liquidate the principal at a 50% redemption rate if they need a portion of the principal for emergency funds. So that also is a way for people to, if they, for whatever reason, do need to scale out of their futures account, it's kind of silly not to do that through the standard mechanism, which is just to claim out on a particular schedule, so that you can or just simply grow your base, like grow your base. If it's not an emergency, then just using futures as is the way to go. Like there's no better long-term strategy, because if not futures, then where? Like if you're getting high returns at the level at the rates at 182%, 182% is usually like reserved for volatile assets with impermanent loss, where you're still losing on impermanent loss even when you think you're winning, right? With futures, you have principal preservation and stuff, so that's really hard to beat. That's really hard to beat. So you wanna decide what portion of your portfolio is covered by futures. It's a long-term commitment, but futures is reserved for long-term cash flow that you can depend on when things aren't so good. Like I said, when this market's getting, volatility is increasing. Volatility will increase for quite a while. While Bitcoin is still, under basically $1 million, there's going to be extreme volatility. Yeah, you heard me say it. I said $1 million per Bitcoin. While it's under $1 million per Bitcoin, the whole market is going to be volatile, right? And these RIAs, these retirement investment accounts, managers, administrators, they're just bringing their guys on. A lot of this work is being done, by direct sales teams directly to retail. That's being managed by some of these platforms of BlackRock and Fidelity. It is the things that the money that comes in like clockwork from retirement instruments and stuff like that. That's still being worked on. That stuff is still 6 months to a year out in terms of getting some of these larger platforms on board, these larger retirement funds on board. It takes time. Japan's just talking about getting their largest retirement fund. They're talking about getting into Bitcoin. It's not something that this stuff hasn't even happened yet. So we're still in a process of racing towards sort of finality with everything we want to support for Elephant Money. So there are things that, even to this day, like if we want to do Wrap Elephant, that's still going to require the keys to do that. We're going to require the keys to do that. We're going to have to, whitelist the Wrap Elephant contract and all that stuff. And once we do that, that's a decision, as a community, it means that there could be all kinds of there's no better word than like fuckery around people trying to say, oh, we support elephant. Oh yeah, bring your elephant here, bring your elephant there. And people are gonna get scammed out of the elephant. You're gonna see drops in the elephant price because people are gonna be stupid and give permissions to their wrapped elephant, give permissions to the elephant. That's why you have to be in the main Telegram. You have to just use the main elephant.money website. You have to just use the main elephant.money medium. You have to use, if you're going to be reading articles about elephant, it has to be from pins that are in the official Telegram. That's why all these things matter, because we're moving fast. And just to wrap it up, or to say, what were we even talking about? The main thing is that new version of futures is coming with the Bitcoin turbine integration, and once again, that's 10% building up Bitcoin bag. That Bitcoin treasury will probably have at launch have a 1% APR governance strategy on it that sells the Bitcoin we've built up and buys Elephant and sends that onto Bertha. So we're staging 10% of cash flow through basically this bag of Bitcoin that we're growing, and then we're skimming off the Bitcoin to buy BNB. Buy Elephant long term. I think that's a little bit more effective to have single-sided liquidity. Single-sided liquidity of Bitcoin versus having building Elephant versus building an Elephant Bitcoin pair where people can just dump into that pair at some convenient time down the line, and basically cash out Elephant, but basically destroy our Bitcoin reserves, so basically a handful of whales, for whatever reason, they have their reasons, but a handful of whales and panic sellers basically destroyed our chances of being competitive with the second parabola that we had achieved. We worked hard to achieve that second parabola. We had a lot of content engagement and things like that, people participating, and people dumped that. People dumped that for different reasons, and the herd is their responsibility of the herd is each one teach one and hodl. Each one teach one, hodl, DCA. The little bit of funds that I had personally, 500 billion Elephant, if I needed to sell those to do things like go on to Solana and do what I do, I let you guys know that we have major opportunities to 10x, 100x from the plays that I was giving there. And those plays were fruitful, by the way. Turned 100K into a lot. That's with my funds. But I'm just saying that was an excuse for like the 8 trillion whale to dump the entire bag versus just scaling out a portion, or for other people to panic sell after that. That's water under the bridge. It should be clear that we're going to achieve this third parabola no matter what. It's just a matter of time. If you're bringing funds in the bacon back to futures, it's just simply going to happen. And there's still major gains to be had in this bull run. But at least, the last couple of days of volatility is a wake-up call that still, as exciting as many things are, not much has materially changed in the space other than, we've attached the institutional finance fire hose of money into the backyard pool of Bitcoin. So So that's going to be exciting in terms of money flow, but how we operate in the space, pretty much hasn't changed. And now for many of you who are in Elephant, you get to experience what it really means to be a part of this community, which extends beyond the protocols. It's not just about Elephant. It's definitely not just about futures or any particular product. It's about a community, and it's a set of protocols that are not just offered by me, but it's about using a portfolio of protocols to overall win together. And some are in our wheelhouse, some are not, but we figure it out, we make it all work. And we're going to Solana where we can tap into more liquidity, grow community-owned liquidity, be able to really use Uniswap V3 style technology on the Solana ecosystem. And we don't have to worry about the fragmentation that has happened with what I consider the failed Ethereum L2 strategy. So there was an AMA a couple of weeks ago where I was pretty spicy about my thoughts about that, and basically said, yeah, being able to just code a smart contract in Solidity is not a strategy. For why you need to have a crappy user experience and fragmented liquidity across multiple L2s. And I think that what I said so many weeks ago when Solana was still under $100 and people had major opportunities for gains, and when WIF was under 50 cents, when I said all that, that's come to pass. But at the same time, now we've retraced back a little bit. So it's just a reminder that things like futures and stuff still matter. Futures is still a great way to bring it all back. And our treasury management is almost second to none. So we're building treasuries that are able to pay out liabilities and things like that for the long term. So we got to stick with that. So an official announcement will be coming out sometime later this week, if not today. UI updates will be coming later today, which will show exactly where and how people can bridge over to Solana using Wormhole. And I suspect that our content creators, some of our more savvy content creators will jump on the bandwagon and get that documentation out. I'm probably going to do my own recording, my own video tutorial as well for that. But Trunk will be first, and we'll be doing a bunch of stuff with Trunk. And I'll be working on the Wrapped Elephants contract after I get this next version of Futures V10 out the door. So that's pretty much it. We'll take some questions over on Telegram. So we'll call it a day here and take some questions over on Telegram. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.